Hey you guys, it's your girl Nay back again with another video. And today we're going to be talking about self-love, the best love. Loving everything while in turn loving yourself. Now, weird question. Do you love yourself? I mean, completely, unconditionally, knowingly and unknowingly love yourself. What are some things you do that are clear and evident that prove that you love yourself to life? You have a strict diet, you no sugar intake, you're a gym head, you like to read, learn new things. What are some things you do to feed yourself life? Now, when I say feed, I don't necessarily mean eating. I mean, what do you do on a constant basis to better yourself, to make yourself better? What is your ultimate goal to loving yourself back to life? Because to be completely honest, we as adults slack on things that show we truly and unconditionally really love ourselves back to life. We love ourselves to life, We exhibit poor eating habits, inconsistent sleep patterns, we have addictive tendencies, and a lack of motivational change. All true, all true. Now take this for instance. You wouldn't allow your child to consume nothing but sugary or junk products on a day-to-day basis, right? Of course not. No doting parent would. Or when the weather permits, you make your child go out and do kid stuff instead of being cooped up in the house, face glued to a screen, right? No, my mother did. Kick us right out the house and don't come back. So why is it when it comes down to showing ourselves that same love, we immediately adhere to the motto I'm sure everyone has at least heard once in their lives? The do as I say and not as I do, which was my mother's favorite. Or the be better than me, or you're not me, or even the I'm grown. Plain and simple, I'm grown. Okay. Now I know everyone, or just about everyone, can say that they love someone or something more than they love themselves. Whether that be your kid, your pet, your spouse, your parent, whatever. Now, God forbid something happens to you from the lack of loving yourself to life. Who could you call on within this world that would love and care for your child the way you do? No one. That's the answer. No one. Now, obviously, or maybe of course, you have a runner-up or two, but to be completely honest, no one in this world would love, cherish, honor, protect, and provide for your child the way that you do, or the way that you would do. So what would it take to love yourself back to life, you may ask? To love yourself so much so, you break through those old thought processes of creating excuses and exhibiting poor habits. Even if that answer in turn turns out to be your child, your spouse, whatever, or whoever, it has to start somewhere, I guess. Love your child, which is ultimately an extension of you, enough to love yourself into loving yourself back to life. Did y'all get that? Let me slow it down. Okay. Love your child, who is an extension of you, enough to love yourself into loving yourself back to life. Speak. Okay, so an easy way to implement this, or an easy way to accomplish this goal, one simple question. What would a person that loves themselves do? Just that simple. What would a person that loves themselves do? Okay, think about this. Life is like a current. Upstream is an aspect of resistance. Downstream is an aspect of allowing. And everything that you want is downstream. Now, to answer that question, what would someone who loves themselves do? The answer is always going to be downstream. So if you're flowing downstream with the current, aka your life or your purpose, then you'll flow effortlessly. Effortlessly. Because remember, when you're living in your purpose, everything works together for the betterment of you. Everything is ultimately an extension of you. So when you live in your purpose, everything flows effortlessly for the betterment of you, which is the betterment of everything. Now, if you're constantly free flowing in your purpose, you can't help but to land at your personal bliss, the joy of all joys of your lives. Whether that be more funds in your account, a successful business venture, a successful career, a dotted mate if that's something that you want. Whatever pure bliss you could think of is flowing downstream with that current. Now, what would a person do that loves themselves? What would a person that loves themselves do? Just that simple. Now, I want you to implement this thought process into your everyday lives. When you have free time and you're wondering what to do to take up this free time, ask yourself that question. When you have to make a decision, what should I cook tonight? Ask that question. You will essentially be living by this one question. And it is going to knock down so many barriers within your lives. Now, every time you ask yourself, what would someone who loves themselves do? You'll instantly receive an answer, like an immediate flash of intuition. Flash. When you ask yourself, what would someone who loves themselves do? You're creating different actions. Different actions create better habits, and better habits will essentially be the foundation, essentially be the foundation to reframe your brain, or to reframe your mind, or to reframe your thought process. So let's speak on intuition. Intuition is defined as an immediate insight or understandings without conscious reasoning. All of us have learned, just about all of us have learned to quiet our intuitions to a degree and only think from a logical standpoint. Yeah, you are an adult, so as an adult, you think logically. You put reasoning behind every decision you make. Always putting some type of thought into everything we do before we do it. Right. But how many of us are familiar with the saying, always go with your first mind? Well, your first mind is the first voice that you hear, and the first voice that you hear is your intuition. How many of us have free flowed downstream by following our first mind / intuition and ended up exactly where you wanted to be, your complete bliss? Now, how many of us have put some logic into that same situation and ended up worse than we started? I'm sure a few of us. You were trying to go upstream, an aspect of resistance. Okay. Intuition comes in forms of correctness or affirmations, a sudden knowing, a gut feeling, a quiet, clear, and often quick impression. So if you have a strong and negative feeling that comes to mind in regards to your intuition, you should be very, very, very suspicious, because it either means you're solely coming from a place of fear, or you've clouded your intuition with fear, which in either case is bad. Now, this process isn't about gaining intuition. It's more so about getting the balls to follow your intuition. When you ask yourself, what would someone who loves themselves do? The answer you receive is coming from a source higher than yourself, your higher self, your highest self. And your highest self has unlimited source of perspective. Now, let's say you've told the universe that your life of bliss would come in the form of a perfect mate. But that perfect mate is on the other side of the world. Now, physically and maybe even financially, you can't fathom how you will actually get to meet your perfect mate who awaits you on the other side of the world. But in reality, it's just as difficult as picking up an ant and taking it to another room. Picking up an ant and moving it from one room to the next. Just that simple. It's just as difficult as that. When you ask yourself, what would someone who loves themselves do? You're ultimately asking the universe to take you on the fastest route to obtaining your personal bliss. Now you'll know if you're acting upon realization or intuition based on how you feel. Based on how you feel after you commit that. Like whatever thought you commit to, you will know if that thought came from a realization point of stand or if it came from an intuition standpoint. Now, intuition equals instant gratification. Logic equals self-doubt. So let's say you're a gym head and you like to go to the gym and work out. Now, you've been in the gym 45 minutes to an hour and you did the best workout that you've done maybe in a long time or ever. And once you're done, like, you feel great. Like, even though you're tired, you're sweaty, you're fatigued, like, your being feels great. Like, you got an aura about yourself. Now, let's say right after you leave this gym, you get hungry. Okay, of course, you're probably hungry, so you go to McDonald's. And while waiting in the line, you debate whether you want to have a salad or you want to have a burger. Now, of course, obviously, your intuition is like salad, 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 greens, 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 greens. But the logic thinking in you is like, well, a salad probably ain't gonna hold me over the whole night, so I'm just gonna get a burger. Get the sloppiest burger on this menu. So you get the sloppiest burger on the menu, and before you even leave out of the McDonald's parking lot, you devour that burger. You devour it, like swallow it whole almost. As soon as you finish, you instantly feel dread, regret, like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. That's how you know you were thinking from a logical standpoint instead of following your intuition. Okay, now if you implement this into your life, it may seem simple, just a simple question, what would someone who loves themselves do? But actually, it's very, very, very difficult. All of your demons is going to show, like, this is going to be the most trying time ever to break your old thought process. All the demons from you not loving yourself completely back to life will show up. But if you stick with this, I guarantee, you will flow downstream right around any obstacle you face. Now I want to finish this off with the law of correspondence. It says, as above, so below. So below, as above, which basically translate into our outer world is nothing more than a reflection of our inner world. Nothing in our outer world can change without first making those same changes on the inside. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Love, peace, and love. Out of here.